Hi there, this is Nicole from Origin House of Fitness in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'm going to lead you through the Pilates Sideline series. So this is a really awesome series to strengthen your hips and your legs and your core. It's going to be a great, quick little workout here that you can combine certainly with others. So we're going to lay on your side, pick a side, we'll do both. So you have two options here. You can either extend your arm out and rest your ear on your bicep, which may be a better alignment for your neck. You can also use a small pillow here if that's more comfortable. You can also bend your elbow and prop yourself up. So when you're laying on your side, you want to think about a side plank position, pulling your side waist in and up. If you just lay here on your side, most of your weight is going to shift onto your hips. You'll probably feel some pressure sensation there. We also want to be using your obliques, your side body abdominal muscles here. So you want to think about pulling in and up. Sometimes I describe it as a little mouse hole. Your mouse should be able to crawl right underneath your side here. So we're going to start by extending both legs out straight, about a 45-degree angle, making sure your hips stay stacked here. You can bring your hand to your hip, or you can press your hand into the floor for some extra stability here. Lift your top leg just to hip height, flex your foot. From here, you're going to inhale, sweep your leg forward 2 counts, and then on your exhale, point and reach back for 1. So 3 count move. Sweep forward, forward, and back. So while you're doing this movement, you're going to make sure your hips stay perfectly stacked here. So as your leg comes forward, you do not fall forward. As your leg sweeps back, you do not allow your hips to fall back here. And the range of motion is really going to be up to you. If your hamstrings or your quads or hip flexors are really tight, that's going to mean that you're going to move a little bit less. So it doesn't really matter how big your range of motion is here. Just sweep your leg forward and back as much as you can. We're going to do 3 more of these. While you're doing your legs movement here, we want to be pressing down through that bottom foot too. Last one. Next up is hot potato. So you're going to bring your legs to parallel, point your top toe. You're going to bring your leg forward and tap 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, tap behind. 3, 2, and 1. So you come up and then forward. I describe this as a little rainbow. So you can choose how big or small you want your rainbow to be here. You may not actually tap the floor, especially when you bring your leg behind, and that is totally fine. Keep lifting up through your waist here. Keep pressing down with the pinky side of your bottom foot. One more time, forward and back, and then we're going to move much slower here. Last one of these. From here, you're going to bring your legs back to parallel, hip height, tiny little movement. Take your top leg down an inch and up an inch. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. So imagine you had a ball squeezed between your ankles and a resistance band around your thighs. So you're going to resist in both directions here. As that top leg presses up, your bottom leg is also pressing down. And then we can even layer on deeper and add the breath. As you lift, exhale, breath. Pull those deep low abdominal muscles in and up here. So it doesn't look like we're doing much, but you should start to get a burn here, outer seat and thigh. So you've got 2 glute muscles here, and this is predominantly what they do. They abduct or lift your leg. Keeping your leg right at hip height now, little tiny circles with your heel. So if you can, as you press your heel back, see if you can now squeeze those bigger glute muscles at the base of your seat. And you can always use a little self-adjust here. You can touch your butt. It's okay. You may not be able to get these bigger glute muscles to turn on, but we'll give it a whirl. Same thing now, you're just going to reverse your circle, opposite direction. Few more of these, and then we're going to move a little bit bigger again. So the nice thing about Pilates, one of the many nice things, is we go for quality of movement versus quantity here. From here, one or both legs turn out. I usually just do my top leg for your kicks. Inhale, point, reach. Exhale, flex, lower. So even though this is called a kick, we're not kicking. Kicking really is momentum. So we're resisting this movement here in both directions. You also want to try to maintain some length through your side body here. So I like to bring my hand to my hip and kind of pull my hip away as I'm lifting my leg. Few more of these and we're going to add on. Almost done with the first part here, our straight leg series. Keep pressing down into the floor with your bottom foot. Keep your mouse hole, so keep lifting through your side waist here. 2 more of these, And then we've got a little add-on. Last one. Here's what we're adding on. Point, drag, flex, reach, and then lower down. Hips are still stacked here, so if you find yourself rolling back, just bring your weight into your top hand and use that for some stability here. So eventually you're gonna feel that bottom leg working too. Just wait till we get to the second side. If you don't feel it yet, you definitely will on the next side. Last bit of work in our straight leg series, so the first half. This is the longest series that we do in Pilates, and it's definitely my favorite if I had to choose. 2 more of these, and then we're gonna move into fetal 5. Last one. From here, bend your knees. You might have to scoot your seat back a little bit. Hips are still stacked, so once again, you can use that top hand for support. Lift your top leg again, just to hip height. From here, we'll take your leg down an inch and up an inch. Inhale, lower, exhale, left. So imagine that ball resistance band combination. Once again, resistance in both directions. As you lift your leg, exhale, breath, pull your belly in and up. So if you bring your hand to your lower abdomen here, ideally we want to feel some movement, some tension there as you're lifting your leg. Once again, outer seat and thigh should be heating up. I think this second series is actually harder than the first one. From here, let your legs come together, squeeze your arches together and keep them down on the floor. Open your knee up as much as you can. It won't be very much for this first set. Inhale, close, exhale, open. So our first set of clams here. See once again if you can utilize those bigger, stronger glute muscles at the base of your seat. And it's okay if they don't fire. Give it some time, some practice. Linking breath to deeper engagement. So exhale breath, pull those deep low abdominal muscles in and up. From here, keep your knee lifted, bring your ankle to follow. Now you're gonna tap knees and toes. Internal and then external rotation in your hip as much as you can. And it definitely burns. Keep breathing, hips are still stacked. So again, use your top hand if that helps you stay stable and in position here. We've got 2 more to go in this fetal 5, and they are definitely the most intense. 2 more of these. Last one. From here, let your knees close, lift your ankles, bigger squeeze open with your knees now. Inhale, close, exhale, squeeze open. Back to those bigger glute muscles if you can. So arches are staying connected. Hips are still stacked. You're still pulling that bottom waist in and up as much as you can stand here. Few more of these, then we're gonna add on. This last move I like to call icing on the cake, and you're gonna see why here in just a moment. So we're gonna take this same move, and now we're gonna add on different breath too. So you're gonna inhale, open, extend, exhale, tap, and close, keeping your hips stacked. Make sure you breathe. Try to slow down the movement here. There's unfortunately little to no work in momentum. So when we slow things down, it's a lot harder. It hurts more, but it's more beneficial and effective, I promise. Just 3 more of these left to go, and then we're gonna do some inner thigh work to finish up this first side. 2 more. Last one. You made it so much easier. Bottom leg comes out. Step your top leg over if you can. You can also step it behind. Lift your bottom leg up, flex your foot. Inhale, lower your leg. Exhale, left. So pretty targeted inner thigh or adductor work now. And this is what these muscles do. They adduct. They squeeze into the midline. Plus we get a little bitty figure 4 stretch for those other glute muscles that we were just working here. Adding in the breath, your exhale for deeper engagement. As you lift, as you exhale, pull those deep low abdominals in and up. And again, if you bring your hand there, you should feel some movement. You should feel that engagement happening. Last thing we're gonna do on this first side, keep your leg lifted, draw tiny little circles with your heel. It might be an oval, it might not be a shape at all. That's okay, just see if you can get some movement here. Opposite direction to finish, just 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here comes the fun part, second side. So press yourself on up and over. Again, however you would like to orient yourself, whether it's ear to bicep or you can cradle your head. Make sure your hips are stacked. Legs come out 45 degrees. Pull your bottom waist in and up. So this side is probably already a little tender from the work that we just did. Lift your top leg to hip height, flex your foot. Inhale, sweep forward 2 counts. Exhale, point and reach back for 1. Making sure that hips stay stacked as your leg is moving here. And if you feel wobbly, just bring your hand down for some support. So we're squeezing your quads. We're stretching your quads and your hip flexors. We're squeezing your butt. So we get a squeeze and an engagement here in both directions. And now hopefully you can feel how hard that bottom side, your bottom leg, is also working to stabilize and support. 2 more of these. Last one. And then hot potato taps. Parallel legs, hip height, point your top foot. Come forward for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, tap back for 3, 2, and 1. So you may not actually tap the floor. That's okay. You choose how big you want your rainbow shape to be. 1 more time, forward and back. And then we move much smaller. Last one of these. From here, legs come back to parallel, hip height. Take that top leg down an inch and up an inch. Inhale, lower, exhale, left. So now again, hopefully you can feel that bottom side working too. That's the beauty of the second side. We actually switch our lead side each week so that we don't ever build a dominance. Imagine your ball between your ankles, your resistance band around your thighs. So tension work in both directions. Top leg stays lifted, tiny little circles with your heel. And once again, see if you can get those bigger glute muscles, base of your seat, to engage as you press back. This is my weird side, it doesn't work in one direction. So it's possible that your glutes may not turn on. More benefits of Pilates practice. Really, really deep mind-body connection here. We work a lot of smaller muscle groups too, opposite direction. So it's a great way to kind of learn about your own body and how it functions. Little plot twist, it's often different day to day. Few more of these and we'll go back to a little bit of a bigger movement. 1 or both legs turn out for our kicks. And again, I usually keep my bottom foot flat so I don't swoosh my pinky toe. Inhale, point, reach. Exhale, flex, lower. So again, even though it's called a kick, we're not kicking at all. We're resisting in both directions. Keep lifting up through your bottom waist. Try to maintain some length through your side body as you lift your leg. A few more of these and then we will add on. 2 more times. Last one. Here's your add-on. Point, drag, flex, reach, and then lower down. This is probably the most elegant, beautiful piece of choreography we get in this series here. Last bit of work in our straight leg series, and then fetal 5. Sometimes people cringe when I say fetal 5. It's kind of a cringeworthy yet joyous occasion. 2 more of these. It's worth it, I promise. Last one. And then bending your knees. Again, if you need to scoot yourself back a little bit, you can. Make sure your hips are stacked. You can physically press yourself forward or use your top hand if you roll back. Top leg lifts to hip height. Inhale, lower your leg, exhale, left. So we want to keep this window of space between your knees and your ankles. Your knee stays in line with your ankle. Your entire leg is moving as a unit here. Imagine that ball resistance band combo again. And as you're lifting, exhale, breath. Draw those deep low abdominal muscles in and up. So it looks like we're not doing much here at all. But we are working really, really hard. This is not an easy series. The entire practice isn't easy, but I'm pretty sure that's why we choose to do these things. Let your legs come together. Arches stay connected, feet stay down. Open your knees. Inhale, close. Exhale, squeeze open. So recruiting those bigger glute muscles here if you can. It may not work on this side. It may not have worked on the first side, but works on this side. Really common that our bodies are different side to side. So always just kind of gathering information without judgment, of course. From here, knee stays lifted, ankle follows. Tap your knees and then your toes. So as much internal and then external rotation as you can in your hips. Plus we keep that burn going. 2 more changes left to go in fetal 5. 2 more of these. Last one. Knees close, ankles lift. Bigger squeeze open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. So once again, bigger glute muscles if you can. Do not allow yourself to roll back, so use your top hand if that feels more stable. 1 more change. Icing on the cake, as I like to call it. It's even better on the second side. So we're gonna add on to this movement, different breath. Inhale, open, extend, exhale, tap, and close. Once again, moving mindfully with precision and control. So we link breath to movement because there's a lot of power there. Plus it helps us stay embodied. Quality of movement versus quantity. So the idea being if we do a few repetitions really, really well, we don't have to do a bajillion repetitions. 2 more of these, we're almost there. Last one. A little bit of relief, inner thigh work. Bottom leg comes out, top leg steps over. If you can, lift your leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, left. So squeezing those inner thigh muscles now to left. Little stretch here, usually feels pretty nice after that last series. Just 1 more change to go to finish up our Pilates side lying series. Leg stays lifted, draw little circles to finish. Opposite direction, just 8 counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You made it through the Pilates side lying series. If you are interested in taking a full-length Pilates class, please visit our website. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to see you on your mat again real soon.